सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नमः श्री शंकरानंद गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे तत्पादाम्बुरुहद्वन्द्वसेवा चेतसां बोधाय तत्त्वस्य विवेकोऽयं विधीयते। 32nd verse. उपदेशमवाप्यैवम् आचार्यात् तत्त्वदर्शिनः पञ्चकोशविवेकेन लभन्ते निर्वृतिं पराम्. Acharya. The word Acharya, where we left off last time, has 3 meanings. It's all from the root verb char, to move. Asamantat means completely. Swayam acharati. Acharati, when you add a, then it means behavior, conduct. How does the acharya acharati? Acharati in keeping with the Shastra. Meaning, in this particular knowledge, in Vedanta knowledge, there cannot be a difference between the teacher and that which is taught. So if the teacher is teaching about Shama, Dama, Uparati, then that means what? The teacher is demonstrating that in his or her behavior as well. So it's easy to talk, not so easy to, as they say, walk the talk. So acharati means the one who walks the talk. You are Brahman, I am Brahman, therefore what? Let's become miserable together. No, that's not the idea. Acharati is able to swayam acharati. What? Anushastram, in keeping with the Shastra. Shastram anu. And then second meaning is you take the causal charayati, makes other people. Makes means not under the duress of arrest or anything like that. No. Makes means inspires others also to behave in keeping with the Shastra. Inspires others to learn, inspires others to walk the talk. Swayam, oneself, they walk the talk, they inspire other people, they bring out the best in others also. And then achinoti. Here the root verb is ching, chayane, second conjugation. Chinoti means what? Chinoti is not second conjugation, fifth conjugation. Yeah, fifth conjugation. So chinoti means collects. So what does the teacher collect? Gems from the Shastra. And also the pedagogical tools collected from his teacher, who collected it from her teacher, who collected it from his teacher, all the way to Bhagavan. Collects the gems from the Shastra, achinoti, and then what? Gives it to the people in a way to inspire them to behave, and then himself, herself also mirrors the conduct of the Shastra. So this is Acharya. So very nice word used here. Acharyat upadesham avapya. So it clears the way of how this knowledge is gained. It does not happen in a flash. Suddenly I was sitting and I thought I am Brahman. No, and then it does not happen because of some notion in the head or the other. It happens through a systematic exposure to this knowledge, which cuts off the identification with ignorance and all the other notions that come along with it. Ajnanam, when ajnanam, which is the moola of anyatha jnanam, when ajnanam is the root cause of mistaking myself to be somebody else, when the ignorance goes away, the anyatha jnanam also goes away, because this is dependent on that. And so therefore the ajnanam is the one who can spirit that ajnanam away using the pedagogical tools of the Upanishad is called Acharya. What kind of Acharya? Because nowadays we have gurus for everything. Stock market guru is there, cooking guru is there, dance guru is there, music guru is of course there. And therefore, what kind of Acharya comes in the next line? Tattvadarshinah. Tattvadarshin. Also in fifth case, Acharyat, Tattvadarshinah, Acharyat. Because it is qualifying Acharya, so it will be agreeing in case, number and gender. And so, fifth case, singular. Tattvadarshinah. So, from the Tattvadarshin. Tattvadarshin. Tattva means what? Tasya bhavaha. Tattvaha. Tattva means we already saw that earlier also it had come. Where did it come? Te parag, yeah, 29th verse. Te parag darshinaha pratyak tattva bodha vivarjitaha. We saw that there. Tattva means the reality of you. That is what is called tattva, which is unfolded to be Brahman, consciousness. And so that reality, that is you, that tattva is the one who sees the tattva can only give the tattva. Sees means knows. Knows without a shadow of doubt, error or mistake or vagueness. So no error, no mistake, no vagueness, and then no doubt. Because you see, this is not an ordinary thing. It's not like teaching biochemistry. You are an expert in the subject. You go to the classroom. You and biochemistry have nothing to do with one another. And then you teach it and come back home. That's it. You keep up with the latest research. You memorize certain things which need to do. You counter some of the other things. And then you come back. That's how it is. You and the branch of knowledge in which you are an expert do not ever become one. And Pujya Swamiji used to give a very good example of the teacher of microbiology. After teaching microbiology for 25 years, the teacher doesn't become a microbe. Professor, where are you? No, look down. I am a kita. This kita only is kida in Hindi. Yeah. I am a kita. I have become an insect. Look. No. Not at all. There was one person who was, what is that called? Who was studying bats. Interestingly, his name was in America, in United States, his name was Bhatnagar. What did the people call him? Batnagar. Yeah. Expert in bats. Whole life he studied bats. Drove everyone batty, but did not become a bat. Okay? Remained a human being. So here, this knowledge is total. It's all-encompassing. You cannot but be transformed. So, Tattvadarshinah is something, it's a word that is used for the Acharya, the teacher. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, it will come in the 4th chapter. Which verse is that? 36th verse, I think. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha. Hello? Even after telling the answer, it doesn't come. So, Upadekshanti, they will certainly teach you if you approach them in the right way. Who are they? Jnanis and Tattvadarshinah. Tattvadarshinah means the one who himself has been transformed. By who? Their teacher. The one who has been transformed only can teach. Because this teaching is totally transforming. You cannot have business as usual and then learn this teaching. This teaching calls for a complete transformation of even the secretly held notions about the world, about Ishvara, about the Jagat, about oneself. It's a total transformation. It's like I told you, that self-blessing. What is that act of annihilating in a way the notions, which is basically the ahankara. Ahankara, if not annihilated, it's at least lightened. Even if it's not enlightened, it's lightened of the burden of associating itself with various other things. So how did this person become a Tattvadarshin? The person became a Tattvadarshin by undergoing a transformation. It's kind of like Vedanta is like therapy, super therapy. Why? Because even in therapy it's like this. The therapist himself, in order to get a license, has to undergo 200-300 hours of therapy themselves. They cannot say, I have no issues. I want to just help people. I have no mother issues, no mommy issues, no daddy issues, and I am ready to help you. They will not let such a person loose in the world. Yeah, they won't. What do you have to do? You have to first undergo therapy yourself. Until when? And Carl Jung will say here, one of the greatest psychologists of the last century, he would have said, until the transference has taken place. What is this transference? Here we are talking of a psychological transference. So the person who keeps going to the psychologist, okay, these are my problems, 1 week finished, next week, all right, this problem has part A, part B, part C, keeps on doing this. Always there is this difference between the psychologist and the patient, client, whatever you want to call that. And then after some trust is established, what happens? There is a certain interesting thing that takes place. One day the psychologist is late, correct? 15-20 minutes late and has not informed the patient. Patient, you cannot no longer call the person patient. What is that person? Impatient. Yeah, impatiently waiting outside the therapist's office. One leg here, one leg like that. What is this? How could this be so? I had so many things to talk about this week. How could this person, she or he, how could they be late only today when I have so many issues? And already I am paying. They say 1 hour, but it's only 50 minutes. 50 minutes is equal to 1 hour in therapy time. So already 15 minutes out of the 50 minutes gone. Let's do the math. Okay, what? Oh, my head is all gone. I can't even do the math. And so I'm just upset. I'm standing here. And finally the therapist shows up, smiling, cheerful. Oh, got caught in a spot of traffic. Sorry, breezily goes into the office to hang up their coat. And this person is ready to hang the therapist, forget the coat. And lets it all out. How could you do this to me? Knowing very well that my whole life, my everything has been late. Everything has been late. Everything has been delayed. I never got anything on time. How could you do this to me? If it had been an ordinary conversation with a friend, the friend would have gotten alarmed. Oh my God, what is happening to my friend? I don't want to see the friend in distress. How can I help? This is one scenario. Or the friend could have got offended. What do you mean? I've been here all the time for you. One day I'm late and you're getting upset like this? How dare you? This is the end of our friendship. Bye-bye. Pick yourself up and then we'll see. You have too many issues for me to be your friend. It could go like that also. But That's why you have to pay the therapist. Free, this will not happen. This transformation won't happen. You have to pay. Then only the transformation happens. But here the therapist is delighted with this person's distress. Oh, this is like raw material. This is raw material to work with. That you got triggered by me being late, which was not directed against you. This is the objective situation. That the therapist was late has nothing to do with the patient. That was his own reasons, her own reasons. Got caught in traffic, got delayed, had to drop off a child to school. So many reasons we can see. But the fact that the patient took it personally, personalized this, that itself becomes raw material. So then the therapist takes out the notebook or tablet quickly, makes them sit down and say, breathe deep. Now tell me, when was the first time you felt like this? You see? This is what is transference, and that transference comes as a result of trust. Finally, it is safe enough to feel unsafe. And that's when you realize, and then the therapist will say, that was then. It is not happening now. These are like magic words. Oh, it's not happening now? No. I'm free? Yes. That was just a bad dream? Yes. It was a childhood memory. Now this is much more. Now let us go down the path of your childhood and clean that up and see what is there that is coming up for healing. These are your issues, all these things. Then the transference becomes a portal for deep therapeutic work. And so, once this transference takes place, then the person knows what it is like, actually to deal with these issues, and when one doesn't deal with the issues, how the issues of the past can cloud the present and take away any kind of can take away all this, take away any kind of a joy of the present day living. Then the person is equipped to deal with those issues, and then only after that the person is qualified to be the therapist. Same thing with the student of Vedanta. How the student turns into an acharya is always a magical process. Very, very magical, very beautiful, wonderful. And when you can see yourself how one was when one came into this knowledge in the beginning, and what kind of a transformation has occurred, it's always the greatest wonder. Why? Because as the Bhagavad Gita says in chapter 2, everything is a wonder. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam. So, enam, this vijnanam, this knowledge, ascharyavat pashyati, sees it with wonder. Some few of the people see it with wonder. Ascharyavat vadati kechid anyaha. Other people talk about it as wonder. How did this person with so many issues suddenly just became a Mahatma? How is this possible? Ascharyavat kaschit anyaha shrinoti. People listen to this knowledge all the time in great wonder. And then Lord Krishna, always the humorous one, finally says, the greatest wonder is Shrutvapi Naveda Kaschit. Even after years and years of listening, nothing happens. That too is a wonder. Which is, in other words, Vedanta is the best kept secret. So who is this Tattvadarshin? Two things. What is the meaning of the word Tattvadarshin? Two things have to be understood. First, who has not dropped from the sky and who has got this knowledge by themselves. Do not study from such a person, really. It may look impressive. Oh, all of us had to go to gurus, but without going to guru, this person has become so big. Big means what? Big in terms of following. That's not the bigness here. The bigness is not how many followers one has. And so, the ability to touch the heart is the bigness here. And the one who has that is called Tattvadarshin. And the Tattvadarshin was just like you. Until the teacher was just like the student, and until the student was completely transformed, and then got the ability to unfold this. That is the most effective teacher. If the teacher had no doubts, no questions, nothing, everything was crystal clear, was a born jnani, what is the use? Can't relate. Can't teach you in a way that you can understand. So Tattvadarshinah here means Tattvadarshinah are those who are Shrotriyas. Shrotriyas. Because without undergoing that process of transformation, one has to have had that transference. Even in the Vedanta situation, there is the transference. Wrong projections made on the Shastra, made on the Guru. And then the ability, that itself is natural. Without transference, knowledge cannot take place. Just like without transference, psychotherapy is not complete. Transference is normal. It is a normal process of undertaking this knowledge. But what one has to do is to be responsible for that transference, is to see that this transference is taking place. In place of the teacher, I am seeing what? Father, mother, father issues, mother issues, some other childhood issues. I have to be able to recognize that. If I am not able to recognize that, at least I should be able to say, this is what is going on. I don't know what it is, but some memory or something, some either negative thing or positive thing has been triggered. So the transference is also based on two kinds, based on the memories. Transference here is called Adhyasa. First is Shobhana Adhyasa. You come into the teaching situation and throw the teacher up on a pedestal, high up in the sky. Nobody like my teacher. East or west, they are the best. I mean, it's wonderful to be reverential and all that, and to have that Shraddha is good. But here it is overkill, in the sense that one has a exaggerated sense of want, love and reverence. True enough, after a while, since it is not based in reality, what happens? The pedestal comes down. Shobhana Adhyasa, the positive transference turns into what? Ashobhana Adhyasa, negative transference. This is a setup that is waiting to be dismantled because it's not based in reality. And so, any small thing, teacher comes 2 minutes late, oh, how could you do this? What's wrong with you? Teacher says, I will do this and forgets, finished. It is taken personally, and then first the teacher was put on the mantle. Who put the teacher on the mantle? The student. Then the student dismantles the mantle and the teacher falls in the eyes. Ashobhana Adhyasa. Both these are on a continuum. And then, so the one who has gone through all that, and sometimes teachers hasten this Ashobhana Adhyasa. They hasten it. We have seen even in so many stories in the Buddhist tradition also. They hasten this so that the student develops almost like a misunderstanding with the teacher, and then at that point understands, I should not be focused on the teacher. What should I be focused on? Teaching. Then the transference and the teachings received from this transference are complete. Two blessings are received from this transference. One is I get a better understanding of my own issues and I learn to deal with them without throwing it or projecting it on the teacher. I learn to deal with it. I say, okay, I own up the difficulty. I have difficulty relating to this person. It's not the person's fault. I have difficulty relating to this teacher. I own it up. But I don't know why. Doesn't matter if you don't know why. If it's owned up, then half the battle is already won. Then we can see why. Then the why will reveal itself in time. Then that is, so overcoming the transference is to own up that issue and then pray for it to be released, work for it to be released. And one can rely on therapy. Therapy is a form of self-love. Yoga also is very good. It's a form of self-love. Anything that helps with self-love is an antidote for both the positive as well as the negative type of transference. Very, very important here. So, Tattvadarshi is a Shrotriya who has undergone a transformation, a psychological transformation, to understand that nothing is against me. Nobody is against me. That chip on the shoulder, that sense of victimization, the sense of being excluded, the sense of being targeted are all gone in the wake of this knowledge. The nightmare of those personal issues are gone waking up to this knowledge. It's amazing. Nightmare, anyatha jnanam, sleep, ajnanam, waking up to this knowledge, both are gone. This is very, very important. So that's the first advantage of the teaching. And then the second advantage is that in the course of the study, I not only learn to take care of my issues, I inherit from the teacher the pedagogical tools along with the teaching. The methodology is also given, unlike some other branches of knowledge. No matter how secure a musician, it is said that the music teacher will not give everything even to the most ardent student. Why? There will be that small thing, I should keep this for myself. I should keep this for myself. Everything else I'll give, I should keep this for myself. Similarly, the cooking teacher also keeps a few ingredients, holds back the knowledge of that, and the recipe will not have that little touch, that little ingredient, the stirring at the right time, the lowering of the flame, all this is not taught. Why? I don't want the student to surpass me. Here, what is the teacher going to hold back? Nothing. Does Brahman have ingredients? No. No parts. No portions to keep back. No kalas. Kalas means aspects. No kalas. No vikalpa. No options. No parts. Nothing to keep back. Either you give it whole or you don't give it at all. So it is wholly given. In fact, this is the only body of knowledge that can be wholly given without anything, because it is resting on you, the self-evident Atma. It is resting on you. No other knowledge can be wholly given. Every other knowledge has some shesha. Some baki will be there, some leftover will be there. Like even take something small, sweet. What is sweet? That's all you have to do. How can you explain what is sweet? Let's say we have made contact now with Mars, and then one Martian comes on a tour to Earth, and you are sharing, they come to Bhandara, you are sharing something with them, you are sharing some gulab jamun, here, have this. What is this? Somehow you are exchanging some translator is there. So you are reading each other's thoughts or something, and then It's like a sci-fi situation. And then you say, this is sweet. What's sweet? You can't explain. You say, please eat it and see, then you will know what is sweet. Brahma Vidya is not like that. Brahma Vidya can be totally given, because what is given is you, who happens to be self-evident. What's the meaning of self-evident? The answering yes to the question, are you here? Yes. That is self-evident. Swata siddha vastu. For something that is self-evident, whose existence does not have to be established, then the I is known, but it is partially known. Partially known. Not fully known. Partially known, and therefore it is wrongly understood as something dangerous, like even a rope snake, and that wrong understanding is taken away. Therefore, Tattvadarshin, the one who teaches, while modeling the knowledge, Brahmanishtha, and then Tattvadarshi means Shrotriya. So this kind of an Acharya you go to, and gaining the knowledge, how do you gain the knowledge is given in second line of verse 32. Panchakosha vivekena. Viveka, discernment. Through discernment of the 5 koshas, labhante. Labhante, always plural, because the drishtanta was in plural, the insects. So here also the students, a few students, labhante. Labhante means gain. What do they gain? Nirvritim. The ultimate accomplishment. What is the ultimate accomplishment? Moksha. They gain moksha, and it is called para. Para means the ultimate, meaning gaining which then you don't have a sense of want, you don't have desires, you don't have all kinds of things that you would like to gain. That is you don't have a sense of lack. So that is what is called param nivrittim apyante, apnoti, apnuvanti, labhante. And then so this is the methodology here is given. Panchakosha viveka. Kosha means a scabbard. Scabbard is that which holds the sword and is in the shape of a sword. It looks just like the sword. And if you see just the scabbard hanging on the wall, sometimes it has a chain or a rope and you hang it on the wall. In the dark when you come, you can mistake it for what? The sword. And so here, that is called kosha. Like a scabbard covering the sword, as it were. There are various areas of mistakes that conceal the knowledge of the Atma from whom? Ayyo, why is it taking so long? From me. Yeah, not me, you. Okay? Yeah, that also has to be pointed out. So, that which conceals the knowledge of the Atma from oneself, that is what is called an as though covering. Because Atma cannot be covered. Or how can you cover the Atma? That which covers everything is the Atma. Isha vasyam idam sarvam, that which pervades everything, that which is there everywhere like space, it pervades everywhere, and so it itself cannot be covered. But here, the covering is perceived at the experiential level, at the empirical level. There is a obfuscation, there is a mistake made. And like this, there are 5 mistakes, and each of them is called kosha. Every kosha is a locus of error. The place where the mistake is made is called kosha. So 5 koshas, 5 loci of errors is there. And so these errors are what are going to be discussed as the entrapment of the jiva in samsara. And knowing these errors and correcting these errors are what? Are the way to moksha. So moksha is overcoming these errors. And what are the koshas? Pancha kosha, 5 places where the mistake is made. First one is what? Annamaya, meaning I am as good as this body. Body is fat, I am fat. Body is thin, I am thin. This is first kosha. Meaning, I am identified, the I is identified with the body. Identified with the body, this I mistakes itself to be mortal, to be finite, and to be subject to disease, old age, etc. And so, to the 6 vikaras. And so, this is the first area. And here it is called Annamaya. Annamaya means the word Maya, we have seen this elsewhere. Mayat is the suffix, and it has 2 meanings. One is preponderance, and the other one means vikara. What is the meaning of vikara? Modification. Modification and preponderance. If I say Annamayam, Annamaya, Yajna was Annamaya. That doesn't mean Yajna is identifying with the body. No. Yajna was Annamaya means here, out of the Yajna, I don't remember anything except the food. There was so much food. This is called Prachurya. Prachurasya bhava. Plentitude, abundance, preponderance. And then the other meaning here is, what is that? The other meaning is vikararthe. So Annamaya means the modification of food, which is the truth of this body. What is this body? A modified version of what I eat. No, but when I was a baby, even before I had my mother's milk, how can this be a product of food? The parents ate, okay? Yeah, father ate, mother ate. How did the father's body come into being? How did the mother's body come into being? Their parents also ate. So this body is a product of food, sustained by food, and then goes back to food. Goes back to food. So when you have, what is that? Beans and squash and all these things, what are you having? Great-grandmother, great-grandfather. Possible. It's all recycled in a certain way. It's meant to be like that. This is part of nature. Even if they are cremated, still the ashes are thrown in some body of water, and that water is watering what? The eggplant. The watering the eggplant. I don't know why they call it eggplant. It's neither an egg nor is it a plant. But anyhow, so the waters the eggplant, brinjal, etc. and then one eats that. And so like this, there is this Anna Rasamaya. This is the body is the product of food. Where did this food come from? Food came from elements. Very good. Where did the elements come from? Bhagavan. Bhagavan here in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Bhagavan is presented as Atma, which is what? Brahman. Therefore it is Brahmatma. Very interesting. It starts off very nicely in the Taittiriya Upanishad, which is an expert in this Panchakosha. Brahmavid apnoti param. Om Brahmavida apnoti param tadesha bhyukta. Like this it starts. Tat esha rik, esha rik, this rig mantra is cited. Abhyukta is cited. So the knower of Brahman gains the ultimate. Oh, then desire is created. What is this ultimate? I also want it. I'm tired of all these whirlpools. I also want the ultimate. And for that the answer is given. What is this Brahman? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This Brahman is Satyam, it exists, it is sentient, it is all knowledge, and then it is unending, limitless. This itself is a Mahavakya, you don't have to go any further. Why is it a Mahavakya? Because of the word Jnanam. Conscious being, consciousness. That consciousness which is Ishvara is what? Jnanam. This consciousness in the form of the Jiva is also what? Jnanam. Sentient. This Jnanam, Anantam, the Anantam word shows the nature of this Sat to be limitlessly existent and limitlessly sentient, unfolding all the time. Okay, where is this Brahman? I don't see it anywhere. Where is this Brahman? I want to know this Brahman. Now that you have defined this Brahman, I want to know where is this Satyam Jnanam Anantam? Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. So, the person who knows Brahman, where do they know it? In the cave of the heart. The heart is called a cave because Antakarana is called a cave because there are many things in common with the cave and with the Antakarana. Both of them are damp. Both of them are dark for want of light, for want of an appropriate means of knowledge, for want of Shabda Pramana. Both of them are dark, both of them are damp with sorrow. Tatra mohaha, tatra shokaha. Both of them are damp, both of them are filled with ignorance, and then all kinds of wrong notion. Bats, stalactites, stalagmites of wrong notions are growing in that cave, and right in this cave is sitting Bhagavan, Jagat Karanam Brahma, the cause of the universe, Brahman as Ishvara is sitting in that very cave which I want to run away from because it is damp, dark, and it's scary. So in this scary cave, Bhagavan is sitting unrecognized because of the thicket of ragadveshas in the form of all kinds of growths in the cave, because of which I do not recognize Bhagavan sitting there. Then what? Enter the Guru, bringing in the light of the Shastra, and then illumines the Bhagavan sitting in the cave of the heart. In fact, all our temples are based on this principle. Same principle. So you go in traditional temples have 7 doors. And then the sanctum is there, South Indian temple. No light inside. You can't switch on and off, no. And all black granite stone. You don't have to worry about entering the temple. People behind you will make sure you enter. And the light in your eyes is just making you rub your eyes. It's trying to adjust to the darkness. You stand in front of the sanctum and blink. You can't see a thing. There is a small dim light. You are in front of Meenakshi temple, Madurai Meenakshi temple, and you have heard, oh, the goddess is so resplendent and so wonderful. Then you wonder what kind of sari is she wearing, what kind of jewelry is she wearing. Nothing you know. The backdrop behind the goddess is what? 3 walls of black monolith stones. The goddess herself is made of black monolith stone. There is a pujari there. The priest is also inside. But coming from South India, he is also dark. Yeah, you don't see him either. And then what? Time for Arati arrives. Camphor. Always used camphor. Why? Because it burns without leaving a trace. All of it gets burnt away, unlike the candle which leaves drippings. Here there is no dripping. It burns away without a trace. And the camphor light, na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. There the sun, the light of the sun does not shine, nor the moon, nor the stars. What to talk of this miserable lamp, camphor lamp that I am holding in my hand to light you, which is the light of all lights. In fact, you are lighting this lamp, and I am pretending to light you. In the same way, may the camphor light represents the light of the Shastra, which burns away the ignorance without a trace. That is what is darshan. They say, please have darshan, and the whole deity is lit up. That deity is you, not that deity. Whatever that deity signifies, the truth of that deity is the truth of you. That's what it is. Nihitam guhayam. Bhagavan, right there, unrecognized, vilified, neglected for want of the proper means of knowledge, Shabda Pramana, in the form of the light of the Shastra, Parame Vyoman, in the space of the heart. And then, what will happen if I know this? That also the Taittiriya Upanishad will say. What does it say? So oshnute sarvan kamaan saha brahmana vipaschideti. Brahmana vipaschita saha samyak ashnute sarvan kaman. So saha ashnute. Saha here doesn't, the first saha is the person, but then Brahmana saha doesn't mean along with Brahman, one ashnute, one enjoys all the desires at once. No. In the form of Brahman, itham bhute tritiya. In the form of Brahman, one enjoys all desires at once. Why? Because what was the source of desire? Incompleteness centered on the self. What is Brahman? Nothing but the truth of you as complete. And confronted with that completeness, abiding in that completeness, what more is left to want? Nothing. And if Brahman is everything, gaining Brahman, I gain everything. All the desires are therefore fulfilled in one swoop. You don't have to go fulfilling desire A, B, C, D, E, etc. Oh, there are only 26 desires? No. After one round it becomes desire A, B, B, C, C. You can keep going infinitely. Sarvan kaman samashnute brahmana saha, in the form of Brahman. Why? The knower of Brahman is non-separate from Brahman. Even while ignorant, one is non-separate from Brahman. What's the difference? When you know it, you understand that. You understand the non-separation. You suffer because of the separation, the sense of separation. The notion of separation is removed, and that oneness is enjoyed. Okay, this is very nice. I want to know this Brahman. And then where from all this came? If just there is Brahman and me, it's okay. But then intervening between Brahman and myself is this funny looking Jagat. Where did this Jagat come from? Then this cosmology, like the kind we saw here, is enumerated in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Tasmad va etasmad atmana akashas sambhutah akashad vayuhu vayoragnihi agnerapah adhyah prithivi prithivya oshadhayah oshadhibhyonnam annat purushah Savaesha Purusho Narasamaya. Annamaya has come through this creation cosmology, so to speak. All this time, what were we talking about? Brahman. Brahmavid apnoti param Brahmana samashnute. Satyam jnanam anantam Brahma. The word Brahman is bid bye-bye to, bid farewell to. In its stead, something else has walked in. What has walked in? Atma has walked in. Brahman bye-bye, Atma hello. So, Brahman is everything. Please know this Brahman. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And then where is this Brahman? Inside the heart. Know this Brahman as yourself. And then what is left? Yourself. Tasmad Vai. Tasmad Brahmanaha Vai. Which is what now? Ye Tasmad. That Brahman which we were discussing, which is now in which form? After knowledge? Ye Tasmad. That Brahman has become this Atma. Out of this Atma has come, what has come? Akasha. Akasha, we look up, that's why the swara is purposely down. Akasha Vayu. So that the orientation goes away. Akasha is down, up, everywhere. See, even with the swaras, the swaras also teach. Akashad Vayuhu. From the same thing that from here. Vyadadikam Panchakam Bhuta Panchakam. From space, which is the subtlest, then we go to the grossest. Akashad Vayuhu. Vayuho Agnihi. Agnehe Apaha. So from space came what? Air. Air element. From the air element came what? Fire. From the fire came waters. There is no singular for water. Apaha, plural. Then from water came earth. All 5 elements. From the earth came, this goes a little 2 steps further. 2-3 steps more it takes. Prithivya, Prithivyaam Oshadhayaha. Oshadhi means plants which are the only source of food on this universe, on this earth. Either you eat the plant or you feed the plant to the animal, eat the animal. Only 2 options. So plant is what? Vegetarian. Plant means is from the earth, and that is the source of food. Why? Because it is already cooked. How is it cooked? Because the plants know how to make food directly. That's why the plant is the original source of food. Animals don't know how to do that. We ourselves don't know how to do that because we were not born with solar panels. Then we don't need karmendriyas. We just need a head with some solar panels, and then somehow we are nourished. Only plants can use the sun to make chlorophyll, and that's the food. That's the food. Oshadhibhyaha, from the food came, from the plants came annam. From the food came Purusha. Who is this Purusha? Human being. Jivas, all jivas we can put it. All the jivas came from the food they ate, or their parents ate, their grandparents ate. So, Esha Purushaha, Savai, this Purusha is what? Nothing but a modification. The body now, this body is nothing but a modification of food. And that's where the first mistake happens. The first mistake is a very easy mistake. Why? Because we have skin. Skin means what? Sense of touch. It's the largest organ in the whole body. All pervasive it is. So wherever they see, the body is encased with the skin, and the skin has all these nerve endings because of which there is sense of touch, and the skin is the demarcator between myself and another. So if something happens here, oh my God, I got hurt, I cut my finger. The knife came here as I was chopping the vegetable. I cut my finger. But if the knife went here, saved. Nothing happened. Why? What is this area? Not me. What is this? Me. What is this? Me. What is this? Not me. Me. Not me. Me. Not me. Me. Not me. Not me. Not me. Me. So the sense of me and mine pervades this body to wherever the skin is. Up to the skin, this body identification is there, and here we can bring in to help ourselves the three tadatmyams. What are they? Sahaja tadatmya is there, karmaja tadatmya is there. Why this kind of a body? Yeah, somebody has a Porsche, the fast car for a body. Somebody has Khatara. Khatara means it is onomatopoeic. That's the kind of sound it makes, pulling from the driveway. Somebody has to push it routinely to get it started, and then it will go for a few minutes, and then it will come to a grinding halt. Why this kind of a body? Karmaja tadatmya. And then because there is sahaja tadatmya, because there is karmaja tadatmya, what is there? Bhrantija tadatmya is also there. I mistake, I don't say, okay, I am in this body. Nobody talks like that. If you go outside the ashram and say, I happen to be in this body, they will just say, what is wrong with you? Please go back to wherever you came from. Nobody talks like that in the world, because the body is everything. And so the body is the first place of mistake. Mistaking I, the Atma, to be as good as the body. Now here is a very interesting twist. What is the twist? The body, of course, is Atma. Why? Tasmad va tasmad atmanah. That's how we have this thing. From this Atma, everything has come. Not only is the Atma the source of the body, the Atma is present as the body. This is why the confusion is so rampant, so universal. Completely universal. It's not an Indian mistake. It's not a British mistake. Oh, I mistake myself to be the body. It is everybody's mistake. Even the dog mistakes itself to be as good as the body. Every jiva's mistake. When the mistake is universal, then only it becomes a subject matter for the Shastra. Otherwise the Shastra cannot operate. This topic will not be discussed unless and until it is relevant for every single person, every single being in the universe. And that's true, every single being suffers because of this wrong body identification. What is wrong body identification? If I appreciate the Atma as nothing but this body, this should be okay. No. Body is of course Atma, because everything is Atma. The Atma by itself cannot be the body. Why? The Atma transcends the body. In other words, the Atma is all bodies. If the Atma was just your body, what about the other body? What about yet another body? What about the body of the ocean, the body of the river, the body of the mountain? All bodies are Atma. Therefore, Atma cannot become one body. In order for it to sustain the body of everything, it cannot be identified with one body. So this is the problem. And Pujya Swamiji had a formula to explain this. What is that? It was illustrated through a well-known story. What is the story? The beggar and the actor. So the actor has a role, famous actor. Any place you take, Hollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood, Sandalwood, doesn't matter which wood you take. Some celebrity actor, highly paid. What happened to this person? He was asked to play the role of a beggar. He was asked to go from door to door, say, I have not eaten anything for 3 days, please give food. And then in the script, what was there? The person would slam the door on his face. And he crying, he would go to the next house and the next house and meet the same fate. Then what happened? The beggar, what is the beggar? The role being played by the actor. But then the role depends on the actor. Does the actor depend on the role? Not really. Even while crying and saying, I haven't eaten for 3 days, the actor inside is feeling very happy. Maybe this time Oscar. I'm crying without even putting any teardrops or anything like that. Natural tears are coming, thinking about this beggar. This time definitely some award I'm going to get for excellence in acting. Means there is a space between himself and the role, correct? But then that same space is not there from the standpoint of the beggar. Who is the beggar? The body of the beggar is the body of the actor. The mind of the beggar is the mind of the actor. In fact, the whole beggar is the actor. But is the actor a beggar? No. Actor is not beggar. Beggar is actor. And what is the formula? B is A, but A is not B. Beggar is nothing but the actor. Actor is not the beggar. B is A, body is Atma, A is not B. Atma is not just the body. Don't say Atma is not the body. Atma is not just the body. More we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om.